Good evening, everybody, and welcome to tonight's Four Corners Alliance Group Q&A webinar for April 19th. This is a holiday weekend, and I want to encourage everybody, regardless of your religious beliefs, wherever you live in the world, please be safe this weekend, and I'd like to start off with that. And again, I want to welcome all of you, both members and guests here for this webinar. And before we get started into the question and answer portion of this, I want to encourage every single guest on this webinar tonight to please get all of your questions answered, but to encourage you, strongly encourage you, to join Four Corners Alliance Group with whoever invited you to this webinar. And regardless of where your level of understanding is, realize this: it is only $18 one time to get started. And whether you believe this next portion or not, I will help you get there, and your team will help you get there, to realizing that this little $18 program has more income potential than everything else out there, to include those programs that cost $5,000 to $13,000 to get started. That's how much power is in this, and the sooner you realize that and start to believe it, the sooner you and your team can have a financial success here more than anything you've done before. And that includes those of you who may be Joe and Susie Superstar in some other program. So that being said, let's get things rolling here with the questions. Part of the reason we're doing the Q&A here is we realized there's no webinars tomorrow to recognize the Easter holiday. And we will, and I know in some countries this is a 4-day weekend that started actually on Friday, but we will have webinars for the company. There might even be 2 on Monday. We might have our first early webinar for those especially to help out not only those in the U.S. who have a different kind of work schedule, but especially for those in Europe and in Africa, so they don't have to, if they don't want to be live, they don't have to be up at 3 or 4 in the morning to do that. So we'll take a look at doing more of those Monday, to include separate webinars for opportunity and training. Okay. Mark saying, how can this be a residual program if it's only $18? All right, here's the first question. $18 is a one-time cost. Now, and I'm going to answer your question here, Mark. Don't make the same mistake I did when I first started hearing about this program before it launched. And, I got sponsored by the master distributor, and he consistently told me, saying, hey, you got to get in this, man. You got to get in this. He goes, there's a lot of money here. And I go, well, how much is it? And he says, $18. Actually, he said 15, but that was something we got fixed later. So it says $18. And I go, it's only $18 a month. He goes, no, it's one time. I go, well, I'm a full-time networker. I don't want nothing to do with something that doesn't have a residual in it. And he says, well, it does. And I go, if there's a one-time payment, I figured, okay, it must be a cycler where they say, hey, as you cycle and you follow your sponsor, it generates more commissions, which in reality, they call it residuals, but that's not residual income because no new sales are coming in. So I finally said, okay, I'll give it to you. There's residual. And the reason it is residual is what happens, Mark, is when you start, or as soon as you start making money, like when you have just 3 people on your first level, that's $12 in commissions. And that night at 3 o'clock in the morning, you'll wake up the next day and your $12 in commissions now are $2 in commissions because they bought you the second tiered product. Now it'll repeat this process going through all 6 of the upfront products for a total of $555, and the newsletter for $30 that'll come out every single month. Now, so that newsletter is also income generating, pays $1 to $4 per person every single month. So because there is a monthly cost, that's where you get your monthly residual. The reason it's here is it's no different than if they said, hey, here's your money, now send it back to us so we can, give you the next product. Here it's all built in, so you don't have to worry about decisions or strategies or the stresses of knowing, well, are my team going to do what I did? Are they going to send back the money like I did to get, product 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6? Here, it's already built in. You don't have to think about it. So people are buying a product every month. They're just buying it from their commissions. They're not having to come out of pocket. We don't hit their credit card for their next product. And before anybody asks, you do not have to wait to get the products out of your commissions. There's been some people who say, well, hey, I'll go ahead and buy all the products now. They put it on their credit card so that when they make $555, they just keep it. They get reimbursed for their products. That's an option if you want the products all ahead of time. Okay, Juan Manuel. Now that one I know I can pronounce because that was actually my name when I took Spanish back in middle school or junior high. So that was my name. I was Manuel. So it says, what if you cannot get 5 or more people to believe this, and 30 days later I need to pay $19? Then it really is a one-time. Okay, if people don't believe it, it doesn't matter how many people you refer in this case, Juan Manuel, there is no second time payment, especially if you're paying it forward. You pay it forward for somebody, it's $18 one time. If they make nothing or they make $1 million, to you it's one time. There is no monthly cost to somebody who pays it forward. Now, at any time that somebody has been in the program for 3 weeks and they don't yet have the newsletter, they will get an invitation from the company to purchase the newsletter, but it's not required. And regardless if they paid their own way or you paid for them, it's a one-time cost. And the $19 that's not turned on yet. That has nothing to do with a newsletter. That's what they call the PV, or personal volume, is when you or anybody you refer gets the next product. It's like you get the 3rd tier product, that actually counts as 25 PV for you. Those things, actually, those are all the small print kind of things. Is it important that you understand that? No, but I'll explain it to you. I'm pretty sure that was what you meant by the 19, because we actually have no $19 products. Okay, Dallas, I got your return email. I'll put, okay. This is a corporate webinar, so team questions aren't going to be addressed here. And we have a number of Christians who are wishing everybody a happy Easter. So I'm just relaying that to people. So there it is. We covered that one. Marcus, can you tell me more about the products and the author of the books? There's a number of books in the tiered products. Each product, some of them have 2 books, or some of them actually have 1, and some of the tiers has as many. The 6th tier has 4 books in it. Now, out of the number of books that are included in all 6 tiers, 5 of the books are actually wrote by Jim Yarborough. who is I just call him the money man, who's one of the owners out of Florida. And those are specific to Four Corners Alliance Group. Some of the other products, like Millionaire Mindset, if you go research it, you can find some of these products elsewhere. Some of them, some places they charge more for them, some places they charge less for them. But yes, there are a number of other authors that are in there. But 5 of the books are specific to Four Corners Alliance Group. You can't get anywhere else. Can't get them at Amazon. You can only get them through Four Corners Alliance Group. Alvin, no, the newsletter is not $19. It is $30. Well, the real answer is $29.95. I just say $30. I tell David, the owner, saying just make it $30, so that's 80% exactly, and nobody's going to quit because you're going to make an extra nickel. Yes, the 6-tier product is $300, and because of 80% payout, every time a 6-tier product is purchased, or anytime any product is purchased, 2 people are paid. But with the 6-tier, person up 6 levels gets $120, and whoever sponsored that person, regardless of where they are, they get that 100% match. All right, Theron, how can I get a link to a recorded webinar? The webinar with the owner, I'm not sure if he's posted that back in the members area yet, but it is posted on the Facebook group, and this one will also be on the Facebook group. The corporate Facebook group is facebook.com/groups/Four Corners Alliance Group. And there's people back there 24/7. It's a small group so far, small as compared to other groups who are just over 500 people. But there's always people back there welcoming new people, regardless of what their line of sponsorship is, asking questions, getting tips. People are very open to share things with each other. There's motivational quotes. People post some motivational videos. One here was put in recently, one with Al Pacino, and another one with Tyler Perry about how he got started and being perseverance. So all these kind of things you can find in the Facebook group, to include these webinars being recorded. All right, Vicki, will Four Corners be issuing 1099s for independent business owners for tax purposes? Absolutely. And for those of you who are international members, a 1099, this is a U.S. company. It's a Nevada corporation. It's a U.S. company, so anybody in the U.S. Will be receiving a 1099 who makes $600 or more, and that's going to be everybody, right? I'm not talking $600. You should be making $600,000, especially if you have a whole year. Hint, hint, hint. But yes, 1099s will be issued for people in the U.S. Okay. Gretchen, are you going to do or are you going to do your fantastic presentation tonight? No, tonight's just a Q&A, Gretchen. And you say you have some guests invited over to the house to watch the presentation. All right, I will tell you, Gretchen, the presentation, if you're talking about the Pay It Forward presentation, or even the one that doesn't cover the Pay It Forward, those are also on the Facebook group. And everybody who is at the house with Gretchen there, sign up. It's only $18, everybody. The products are more than worth it. The income potential is truly unbelievable. You're in the right place. Sign up with Gretchen or whoever invited you to Gretchen's house. Do that right now. Turn that laptop on and start signing people up. Break out those credit cards and debit cards. It's $18 one time. Hopefully that helped you out there, Gretchen. Susan, let's say I get 4, but then none of them gets their 4. Does our line stop at that point, or is there spillover from above? That's all depending on what your team's doing. I don't push or promote spillover. I always tell people who do ask that question, it is far better to create spillover than to receive it. And when people ask me, what about people who haven't done anything? We're just getting started. So I like to remind them that, hey, we're just getting started. We're in spring. There's a lot of stuff going on. There's spring break. There's people on vacations. Maybe they just joined now to hold the spot. They're going to do something later. And I just tell people, yes, I have referred people who've done nothing. But I always like to add, they've done nothing yet. So there's nothing to keep you from referring more people, Susan, or paying it forward. And maybe sometimes those people who haven't done anything yet, maybe just having somebody spill onto their front line and they make $4 might be the spark that they need. Maybe it's just getting them over to the house like Gretchen does, or getting them to a webinar, or getting them onto the Facebook group, and so they can see all the support that's going on and how different teams help each other. I know we got Keith Jones and Julie Williams who are doing a whole lot on the Facebook group, and they're two completely different legs. They don't make anything financially from each other, but everybody wins when people are helping each other. Okay, Juan Manuel says, what do you mean by pay it forward? How many times do we do it for how many people? Okay, I'll give you a breakdown of just some examples here. And what I want everybody to realize is everything I'm going to show you here is rounded way down. All right? So PIF, or pay it forward, is actually paying somebody's entry. You're paying the $18 for them instead of them paying it themselves. 2 duplicated, 2 getting 2 getting 2. So you're risking, $36. I just say less than 40, because if you're getting prepaid cards, they have a fee there. But 2 getting 2, your upfront money is $10,000, and your residual is $734. That's just 2 getting 2. You got like 100 people total on your team, and you got $10,000 you make from upfront money and $734 residual. Now, if you just increase that by 1, 3 getting 3 duplicated, your upfront money is now over $100,000, and your residual is $10,000. And again, I'm just not making up numbers here. Those are rounded down. It's like 10,088. It's 104,000 or something. So those numbers are rounded down. Now the matrix is a 4x6. Now before I put these numbers up, every matrix upfront money, you have the potential of making $559,000. I'll just round that down to $500,000. Up to $500,000. Up to includes 0. All right. Since there's 100% match here, every time you refer somebody, whether you pay it forward or they pay for themselves, your income potential increases by $500,000 every time. Up to $500,000 every single time. So when you joined, your income potential is $500,000. When you refer one person, their income potential up front is $500,000, and since you match them, you've now got $1 million. So you duplicate this, $2,500,000 is what you can make up front, and your residual is over $380,000 per month. You duplicate 2, you risk $40 if you're paying it forward. You risk $80 for 4 people. Look at the difference there. Okay, and these are simple math, everybody. It doesn't mean to make $2.5 million that you need hundreds of thousands of people on your team. Just focus on the process. Get 4, whether it's paying it forward for 4 or you're referring 4. We got a number of people who are getting 4 sales a day. All right. So Those are some numbers there. That's to give you an example of how Pay It Forward works. Plus, it gives you more control and it takes selling out of it. You're not selling anything. You're just paying it forward for somebody. You're giving them the financial literacy course. That's what's included for, or part of what's included for your $18, along with your free website, your members area, tracking your genealogy. All of that is free. The $10 goes to purchase the financial literacy course. Okay, we already answered the webinar. Marcus is saying, how can I get prospects onto a webinar? Same thing. You can invite your guests to go to the Facebook group. They don't have to be a member of Four Corners to join the Facebook group. Anybody can join, or you can just send the link directly to your people saying, hey, get on tonight's webinar and listen to the owner or Coach Van or whoever's doing that particular webinar, and then also say, hey, right after the webinar, go to my link and join. Better yet, tell them, saying, hey, it's only $18. Go to the webinar and bring some guests with you and join before you go. It's only $18. Learn on the run. Learn while you earn. Some of you who know some people where your buddies that go way back, forget all the stuff that I'm telling you, learning all this stuff. Just say, hey, Bob, write your email address on this piece of paper here and give me $20. I'm gonna put you in business with me. You don't need to know what kind of comp plan it is or all these different things. I'd be willing to bet a lot of you know some people who will do that, especially if you're confident about it. Even if you failed in your last 10 businesses, hey, Bob, put your email address on this piece of paper here and give me $20. I'm going to get you started in business with me. As soon as he gives you the $20, I'll give you more information later. Go get 3 other people to give you $20 in their email address, and we'll get you off to a good start, or whatever number you want to give them. Okay, Joby, is it required for a member to take a monthly newsletter subscription? No, they can deny it, but why make less money, especially when it's coming out of your commissions? So, nobody has to do anything, and nobody needs to do anything, but it's in your best interest to follow the steps. I know that might be a literal answer to your question, but there we go. Okay, Alvin has the same question. So that's the same answer. Mary, she's saying Facebook.com. Okay, you forgot your slash, Mary. Right after the word groups, there's a /. You have group. First, you left out the S and the /. So it's groups, plural, / Four Corners Alliance Group. That's why you couldn't get the site to pull up. You got the wrong address there. And Mary's also asking, do you have to be in Facebook to go to the site? I'm not sure about that one. I think you might be able to view the site. You just won't be able to join or participate in anything. I'm pretty sure a non-Facebook user can get on there. I will say this, and I've been saying this for years, and I didn't like Facebook at first either. Whether you like Facebook or not, this isn't an opinion, this is a fact. It is the largest marketing platform in the world, and it's free. So not being on Facebook, you are limiting your success. You don't have to have all your personal information and pictures and all that other stuff. Yeah, and if it's your first time, you don't even have to use your name. Use it. It's free. Okay. Marcus, how can we tell that company has longevity and will be around for a while if we have no history to compare to? All right, that's a good question, Marcus, and I get that from a number of people. And, there is no magic ball or crystal ball. One of the things I like to tell people, especially when they come up with the negativity, when you say, hey, that thing's going to die in 6 months or whatever, I say, let's just say you're right. And it dies in 6 months. All right? look at what can happen in that 6-month time frame. Even if I'm only a little bit right, and we have people making thousands of dollars or hundreds of thousands of dollars or even millions, they say, yeah, but if they come in at the end, they're left holding the bag. This is true in this example. But what is holding the bag costing them? 18 bucks. You know, a lot of us have been in programs to where people spent thousands of dollars and the government shut them down, or maybe you were in a company where the owners were crooks or what have you, and people lost hundreds and sometimes many, many thousands of dollars. Here, it's 18 bucks. If you join today and it folds tomorrow, you lost $18. So how can we tell the company has longevity? Every company likes to say that they're different and they have longevity, but here the risk is the financial risk is next to nothing. You can almost even say nothing. It's a pizza. So there's history. They've got a good track record on the financial side. Do they have a track record, you know, for Four Corners Alliance Group? No. And part of that you can go by your gut. But when I talk with people who say, you know, who don't feel it's going to last, or they hit the stats saying, yes, it's true. Well over 90% of your companies that start up, and usually over 1,200 new MLM companies start up every year. Every week there's new companies. And as more and more people come to this company and start to attract people, you're going to see other companies start to offer some kind of lower cost product to try to compete with all the people that they're going to be losing to Four Corners Alliance Group. Not because Four Corners Alliance Group is so much better than every other company out there, because people want to make money and they want to get people to be able to duplicate. Getting people to duplicate programs that cost hundreds or even thousands of dollars is difficult to do. 18 bucks, it's a pizza. All right, so forgive me for not being able to tell you something that's going to give you, oh, okay, that's why this is going to be around for a while. All the owners have history. Some of them business history. Jim has a financial history, and that's his piece of the company. The programmer owner, that's what he does. He's got longevity and history there, and David's got a history with business and in sales, and combined, I feel good about the prospects of this being around for a long time, but that's a feeling. Their history are facts. Whether or not that translates into, you know, longevity there, Marcus, part of that is going to be faith and belief. And the more belief that we have, the longer it's going to last. Why? Because that's what we're doing. People will thrive off of that. The company's making money by paying out 80% and reselling a product that once it's paid for on a digital product, then that 20% margin is almost pure profit. To also include, remember the fact that the company has a position in the matrix too. They have the top position. Okay, Joby's asking, what is the process to pay it forward for someone? That's very easy there, Joby. You can pay it forward to somebody. All you need is their name and email address. You don't need their physical address because it's your billing information that's being used. Even if you're collecting money and somebody gives you the money, it's still your billing information. It's on your credit or debit card, whether you're using MasterCard, Visa, Discover. If you're going to Walgreens and purchasing cards like I do and a lot of people that I teach, because you can only use a debit card 5 times before it'll say, you can have $1 million in your account, but once you use it 5 times, it'll say this has been declined because this card's been used too many times. That's to keep me from stealing your card, Joby, and signing up, 20 people with it. It'll quit working after 5 times. It'll work, at the gas station and everything, but it will only work to purchase the first basic level product in Four Corners 5 times. So that kind of works out pretty good. One for you, and you can pay it forward for 4 other people. And once, if you don't have credit cards or debit cards, you can make cash purchases at Walgreens, Rite Aid, and you can go buy prepaid cards. Just don't buy prepaid American Express because, you know, here you want to leave home without it because Four Corners Alliance Group does not take them. Okay. Theron is asking, is this a forced matrix design? Now, I want to clarify something here. Some people's definition of a forced matrix means doesn't matter who the sponsor is, it goes in top to bottom, left to right. That is not the case. Everybody who joins is at the top of their own matrix. So Marcus, if you sponsor me and then I go sponsor 3 other people before you sponsor 3 more, those 3 people I refer are below me. They're not going to go to the top and fill in top to bottom like some people think with the word is forced matrix. It is a matrix, but everybody who makes referrals, whether they're paying themselves or it's being paying forward, they go into their own matrix. Everybody's part of one big matrix under Four Corners Alliance Group, and it is filled by, you know, sponsorships goes into the first open position in their matrix, not the company's matrix. So if that's what you think a forced matrix is, then no, this is not a forced matrix. It is a matrix, though. It's a 4x6 on for placement, because the upfront money is not MLM. It is affiliate-based, being only 2 people are paid for every product that's purchased upfront. The residual or newsletter matrix is a 4x7, and that is MLM because with every newsletter that's purchased, anywhere from 8 to 14 people are paid. And I say that because it pays through all 7 levels. Because there's a 100% match, all 7 of those people could realistically have the same sponsor, so that would be 8 people, or all 7 people could all have a different sponsor each, so anywhere from 8 to 14 people are paid with every purchase of the newsletter. When somebody purchases the Tier 4 product for $60, 2 people are paid. And it doesn't matter which tiered product they're purchasing, anytime it's purchased, 2 people are paid. That's it. The matrix is just for placement only. It is not, the front end is not MLM. Okay. Let's see, we got Lyle. What is the best way to pay it forward? Is the best way, the quickest way is to use your own debit card and credit card if you haven't used it already 5 times. If you've already used it 5 times or you don't have a credit card or debit card and somebody paid your way in, is to get cash and go buy a prepaid card from, you know, any gas, or not any gas station. You can go to greendot.com and find out where a Green Dot location is, and most of your Walgreens, your Rite Aid, your CVS, they all have their own prepaid cards. Most of your Walmarts have them. So getting prepaid cards is very easy, and you can also purchase them online at greendot.com. Okay, and okay, yes, you can buy a card and then give it to somebody. But I'm telling you, it works a whole lot better when you buy a card and you do it yourself, rather than saying, hey, here's a debit card with $18 on it, go sign up. Get the card and do it yourself. But yes, you can do it that way. Okay. Make sure if you're going to Green Dot, do not get money packs. Money packs are not prepaid cards. Okay, money packs, there's no expiration on it that you can use. They only have 14 digits instead of 16. Money packs are used to load Green Dot cards. You can't even use a money pack to load money onto your debit card unless you got your debit card from Green Dot. Okay, let's see. Yes, this webinar is being recorded and will be on the Facebook group. Mark, I have already paid the $18 and joined. What else do I need to pay? You don't have to pay anything else, Mark. If you want to, put money into marketing or buying advertising, those are options for you. If you want to pay it forward to people, you can do that. But this is a one-time out-of-pocket cost, $18. Anything you do past that is completely up to you. I would recommend paying it forward to people, absolutely. I do that myself every day in addition to making referrals who pay their own way. James Holbrook, is 18 the legal age for joining, or can someone join under 18? Now, when this question was being asked before, I would say nowhere does it ask you how old you are, but now I talked with the owner, David Harrison, and he did get clarification from the lawyers. Anybody can join under 18 with parental consent. That has to be submitted in writing. There's no fancy form. If James, for example, if you got a son named James Jr., you could send in the form to DPX, is where the commissions are being paid, saying, I'm James Sr. and my son, my 14-year-old son, James Jr., has my permission to participate in Four Corners Alliance Group. Okay. Abdul Rashid, will your credit card in PIF be used for newsletter subscriptions after 30 days? No, it is a one-time purchase. It's a one-time purchase for you. It's a one-time purchase for anybody you pay it forward. If after 30 days they have not made enough money with commissions, they will be invited to purchase the newsletter on their own. And again, if you're using prepaid cards, even if it was possible for them to hit your card, which it isn't, doesn't matter. There's nothing on the card. I got the cards, and I use it 5 times. I actually put $90 on there, which is 5 times 18, which is $90. I pay it forward for 5 times and throw the card away. I don't cut it up or anything. If somebody wants to go through and find old Visa and MasterCards with thinking they can get the numbers off there, let them get the numbers. There's nothing on the account. Okay. Marcus is saying, any other products being offered in the future other than ebooks? Yes, the newsletter is a monthly product, and then the investment club will have, that's after, probably around in June, will have different things that they can use. But if you're asking about, going into, health or something like that, then no. Everything's going to be dealt around financial, personal, and professional development. And it's a financial education, not financial services. Okay, all right. Sorry if I butcher your name here. It looks like Angarul. Angarul is saying, can you explain how paying it forward for 2 people who duplicate can turn into 10,000? So 2 gets 2 is 4, then 8, then 16, 32, 64, 128. And when they get all of the different products up front, meaning they're getting paid for 2 people on the tier 1 product, they're getting 4 people on the tier 2 product, then 8 for the tier 3 product. All those one-time payments come up to a little over $10,000, and that many people getting the newsletter for $30 a month comes out to $734. And all the other numbers come out the same way. They're just rounded down more and more and more. Like the 10,000, actually, I think the number is 10,088, where the 100,000, I think, is 104,000 something. All those numbers that you see on your screen are rounded down. But you can see there's a huge difference. Upfront cost, 2 people is $36. 4 people, is $72. So it's twice as much money, but it's a whole lot more money. Income potential. Even if you want to cut that, by 10%, say 90% of that fails, and you don't get $2.5 million. you get $250,000 instead of $10,000. If this was 100% successful and this was a 90% failure for paying it forward for 2 more people, at a 90% failure, you're looking at $250,000 versus $10,000 at 100% success. Okay. I think I answered that one already. Covered that one. Vicky, can I, as an affiliate, manage someone's business for them if they want to join? Yeah, if you want to do that and they're going to give you their, their password, absolutely you can do that. Not a problem. Michael, I'm on my site now trying to pay it forward. It's on the step with the name and address. Do I put in mine because it's my card? Yes, all you need, Michael, is that person's name and email address. You can put in the username and password and then tell them later. But yes, it is your billing information because it's your card. Whether you prepaid it or it's your credit card, as long as it's MasterCard, Visa, or Discover, it's yours. And just as a side note, those of you who have an STP credit card, you're still using the credit card option. It's not because it's STP. If you're using anything with a Visa or MasterCard logo, who generated that card does not matter. You're using a credit card or debit card. Don't click on the STP link unless you're paying money directly from your STP account. If it's an STP Visa card, then you click the Visa button. And same thing for the people who said, hey, yeah, they take PayPal. We do not take PayPal. But people with a PayPal Visa card, we take Visa, MasterCard, Discover, no matter where you got it. If you got Uncle Bob's Visa, then, yeah, we'll take Uncle Bob's Visa. Okay. Geraldine saying something about 100 people. When you asked that question, I'm not sure what I was talking about at that time. We'll have, we got a whole lot more than 100 people. We got people that have over 100 personal referrals themselves. Okay. Pierre, here's an example. I know Pierre got started and he helped people pay it forward, and some of the people who paid it forward again. And so there's an example of that working. And his question is, how does the position remain alive when someone quit? If someone quits, there is no quitting here. If someone quits, they can say they quit, they cannot tell anybody, but that position is still there. The position is, as the company grows, if that position or when that position starts to have people fall below it, it's going to make money. And the person who sponsored that person who thought they quit is still going to make money, and you're going to match them at 100%. Okay. All right. Brad says, did I read it right that you can elect to have the newsletter cost taken out of your commissions? Absolutely. Absolutely. That's what we're teaching. It's going to come out after your purchase of the 3rd tier product. You're going to have $10, then $10 and $25 for the first 3 tiers, and then there's $30 going to be taken out before you get the 4th, 5th, and 6th tier product. Okay, Juan Manuel, is a person disqualified if at 30 days they don't have 4 in the front line? Absolutely not. Okay, Marcus, this sounds too good to be true, but I'm in anyway. All right, one of the presentations I do, Marcus, and I appreciate you saying that, and I even say it in a whiny voice, that cliche has hurt more people than it's helped. And I know most of the time when people say it, especially, parents or loved ones, if it sounds, I even say, if it sounds too good to be true, it probably is. Oh man, I dislike that saying even more than I love the quote by Zig Ziglar, get whatever you want out of life by helping other people get what they want. Sounding too good to be true. No, this is good and it is true. It's just math. It is just simple, basic math. And when people often say that, they're basically criticizing your own levels of belief. And so, I mean, I appreciate what you're saying. You're being honest, and that's good. And that you're in, that's also good. So if it's difficult for you to wrap around the idea of making $2.5 million, then just wrap yourself around the idea about making a profit. If all your team does is just get excited about making a profit, that $2.5 million is just math. It comes. And again, you don't need millions of people to make $2.5 million. Four getting four. If you get four your first week, by your ninth week, if that duplicates and it's just getting four, even if everybody's just paying it forward and risking $90, that's just math. $2.5 million, $380,000 a month, and again, it's all rounded down. Okay. Mark, or Docet automatically build under me. There's some people who've got spillover, some people got more than others, but we're not promoting this as a spillover deal, and we're certainly not telling people, hey, go join and do nothing. It's $18, everybody. Just do it. Be like Nike, just do it. Okay. All right. Michael says, all right, we already did the pay it forward question. If you're asking if your people that you pay it forward on, do they see your billing information? No. Only the bank and Four Corners Alliance will see your billing info. Okay, Tanisha, how many people would I have to get on my team to get at least 3,000 in 3 weeks? And I will be able to cash out. That's a difficult question because it's easy to figure out how many people you need for that much money for residual income, but it takes at least a month to build up residual income because that's a monthly newsletter. To make $3,000 in 3 weeks that you actually put in your hand, that's going to be determined on how quick people go. So what I would do is take the pay it forward concept that's done weekly, and then you do it, instead of doing 4 your first week, do 4 your first day, and encourage those 4 to do their 4 the next day and go that way. And then you can you start the process, instead of doing it weekly, you do it daily, and you'll be able to reach that goal. And the reason I know that is there's a couple of people said, hey, Van, I'm going to get evicted, or I need to make this, I got to make this much money. I even told a lady who came in today, I got to make, I only need to make $600 by Tuesday. I said, well, because of how the program's set up, even if you go out and sponsor 1 million people today and they all pay their own way, you won't have those commissions by Tuesday. So I'll be straight with you there. So yeah, you can do it. It's going to be, it's definitely possible. And I gave you a way to do it. Just take the weekly presentation and just say instead of saying week 1, say day 1. Instead of week 2, say day 2. So you're in profit day 3. All right, Alvin says, will we lose an opportunity to residual income by not purchasing the newsletter? Absolutely. I don't know why you're so concerned about the newsletter. That's where the big money's at. The big money's on the residual. That $734 a month is a whole lot more than the $10,000. That's one time. That $380,000 is better than $2.5 million because that's every month. Okay, we covered that one. Vicky says, can members of the same household join without it being considered stacking? Absolutely. There are no stacking rules with Four Corners Alliance Group, and it's not because we're so much different. It's because the companies that have stacking rules, it's because it's to protect the upline from people manipulating the compensation plan to potentially screw the upline out of commissions they might have. Here, the way the pay plan's set up, the 100% match is just on your matrix money anyway. There's no generational matches. So if I was your sponsor, Vicki, and you sponsored your husband, and your husband sponsored your son, and your son sponsored your daughter, and then as a family, everybody put everybody under the daughter, whether you sponsored one person or you sponsored 300 people, I only match your matrix money. So you're not hurting me by stacking it or building it in that fashion. So there are no stacking rules here, nor now the only thing you can't do is you can't have multiple positions yourself. Vicki can't sponsor Vicki. Vicki can sponsor, Robinson Family Associates. If the Robinson Family Associates have a tax ID number, people can sponsor entities that they control or trust that they control or have a part of, but Vicki cannot sponsor Vicki. Okay, covered that one. Okay. Lyle, in my settings under auto purchase, when I first opened this area, I found that the only button that is selected is for 6. What would you recommend we do in this area? Leave it alone. Let the system work for you so that you get all of the products to maximize all of the information and the compensation. Okay. Mark says, do we have to have a certain number of people to sign up under us? I'm not sure. You don't have to have anything. You get the products, the first product comes just by signing up. You get the financial literacy. If you refer 2 people or 200 people, the more people you refer, the more money you make and the more matches you get. So I'm not sure if you're making a statement or a question here. Marcus says, when I PIF, the person gets an email to tell them they just got signed up by me. They'll get an email from the company, but keep in mind, people who use AOL, Yahoo, Comcast, Hotmail, the email goes out, but a lot of those don't get received. That's why you see sometimes people saying, well, hey, this says I haven't confirmed my email yet. I didn't get an email. Well, it was sent, but they don't receive it. But you can go into your members area, and I encourage everybody to contact everybody you sponsor and to keep them up to date. Invite them to the webinars, invite them to the Facebook groups, encourage them to pay it forward to others, always encourage them to keep building and sharing. And like our kind of saying is, share because you care. Don't stop at 4. Help as many people as you can. Because the more people you help, the more money you make. Because that's what you're doing. You're helping them. You're not only showing them how to make money, then the system and the educational will show them what to do with the money and to have the right mindset for it. I'm sure a lot of you have heard, the horror stories about people who win the lottery, win millions of dollars, and 5 years later they're broke because nobody told them what to do with the money. Because what do lottery winners and wealthy people have in common? Just the money. Wealthy people don't buy lottery tickets. So they know what to do with the money. Unfortunately, this is it is a tangent. Lotteries are just another form of taxation on the middle and lower class financially. Wealthy people don't buy lottery tickets. Poor people buy lottery tickets hoping that they're not going to be poor anymore, but because they don't know how to handle money or know what to do with it, they end up being poor again. Here, we're going to show people how to make money, how to protect their money, how to put their money to work for them, and what to do with their money, because there's also the mindset portion that we do. Okay. Marcus is saying, can I give them the login for my webinar? Don't give out your personal registration link, because if they go to the webinar before you do, you won't be able to get on. Everybody's welcome to register for the webinars, but if you send out your link, it tells you, say, hey, don't send this out to anybody, because then you're not going to be able to get on if they happen to go click on that before you do. Send them the link to where they can register themselves. All right, anybody else got any other questions? All right, again, if you're a guest and you still haven't signed up, go fix that mistake. And yes, it is a mistake. It's $18. Go spend the money. You will be glad you did. And then bring guests back to future webinars, recorded webinars, and I will, so you don't have to sell, I'll do the selling for you. I'll answer their questions, and I'll tell them just like I'm telling you. Go sign up with whoever invited you here, or fill up a room full of friends and family like Gretchen did. And I'll tell everybody in that room to, hey, go grab Gretchen's laptop and go start signing up while you're asking me questions. Good night, everybody. Again, have a wonderful and safe holiday weekend, regardless of what your religious beliefs are. And for all of those of you who are Christians, happy Easter.